Hey everybody, so in response to my last video that I did, which was titled Sleeping White While Talking Black, Why I Do and Why I Can, I had a few girls send me personal messages. I guess they didn't want to be out there on in public with their comments, which is completely fine. And I had a few good comments from some of my loyal watchers, which I want to thank you all. So I wanted to do this video because I had some girls asking for it. Now, I've mentioned several times, and so before I get into this video, I would like to say I don't promote or not promote dating out. I don't promote or not promote where you find love or where you don't, because I've mentioned this and I think I have a responsibility to say this. No matter what race of guy you end up dating, you're going to, or you can have issues no matter what race. And I caution black girls about dating outside of their race, thinking that they're not going to have issues outside of their race, because that is a lie and I don't want you to believe that. Also, I don't want girls dating out who have emotional scars, meaning if you are naturally attracted to, let's say, white guys, that's one thing. But if you are dating out because you have some kind of anger or hate for your own race, I really hope that's not your reasoning, because that never ends good and it never feels good, and you're doing it for some kind of personal attack when you should just be doing it for yourself. I mentioned I am someone, I date outside my race because I am attracted to white guys, so I date outside my race. And no, I have never had a black boyfriend, but I don't hate or have anger towards black men, nor do I care, as I've said before, if black men date outside their race, because my attention is not there. So if my stock is in other places, there's no reason for me to care what is going on over there. So I just wanted to throw that out first. So this is, as you can see by the title, this is Dating Out 101. Just some basic information, because I have a lot of girls who are genuinely interested in dating outside their race. They want to date outside their race, which I am all here for if that's what you want to do. And if, as someone who has only dated outside their race, if my little bit of information can be helpful, I am open to giving it. So my first bit of information, which is was just my PSA at the beginning, which is make sure you're doing it because it's something that you are genuinely wanting to do, not as a response to what someone else is doing, because that's not gonna start off good at all. And then I want to say my next piece of advice is to be yourself. Now, there are classes out there and videos teaching women how to be more feminine and how to dress and act to attract a certain man. So before we even get into that, I want to say you don't want to go outside, dating outside your race by changing yourself. If you are not a naturally feminine woman and you are forcing yourself to become more feminine in order to attract a certain type of man, you are doing yourself a disservice. And why I say that is because if you have to work hard to be something that you're not, it's not going to be lasting. And if you end up with someone, it's going to start seeping through later anyways. Your true personality is going to eventually start to seep through. So you want to be yourself. If you are more of a tomboy, be more of a tomboy, and you're going to attract and be with someone who accepts you for being a tomboy. If you have a more hard exterior, you're more goofy, or whatever the case is, be that and attract who is attracted to that. I am a naturally feminine, girly girl. I've always been feminine. That's because I think my mom is very feminine. She's always expressed, looking put together, wearing, making sure your hair is nice, dressing nice. This is just in general. This has nothing to do with men, just for yourself. So I naturally picked up on that, and I've always naturally been very feminine, but I do know that I can also be tough, and I don't try and water that down. So whoever dates me has to be okay with that, or else don't date me, because I really don't care, right? So that would be my first piece of advice, is be yourself. Whatever you are, be that. If you are, say, feminine, but you want some refinement tips, that is one thing. But to try and change yourself, that is a no-go. So if we are going to talk about refining your femininity, if that's who you are, because I can talk about femininity because I am feminine. So if you want to attract, say, a white man that is more of a value, please, my second tip is don't date a low barrel man outside your race. Okay, I mean, if there's a boy from your neighborhood that you like, fine, but don't date some dusty white guy with his pants sagging, his hat backwards, who tries to be harder than the local, you know, hard guy in the neighborhood. Like, why would you, like, don't lower yourself and do that. At least date a good value man. I don't care what race of man you're dating. If you're dating a black man, white man, Spanish man, Arab man, date a quality man. Don't waste your time, because if you're gonna have issues in a relationship, no matter what quality of man it is, good, bad, high value, low value, I hate those terms, but whatever the man is going to be, you can have issues no matter what. So why date some dusty man? Okay, now if there is some guy who is, you know, not refined looking, and he treats you very well and it's a good relationship, fine, you know, that's one thing. But don't just date the first dusty white guy that you see. Now back to the femininity. For a more man of substance is what I'll say. I think more clean, minimal looks work. And for white men, you don't have to worry about I think, like, in the black community, black men place a lot of value on critiquing your hair. But dating white men, you will not really have to deal with that. Of course, there's no monolith in the white community, but that's something you really aren't going to have to deal with. Because there's white guys who love your natural, beautiful hair, and then there's white guys who love your weave. I've never had a white guy that I've dated complain about me wearing a weave ever. So whatever you are naturally, if you like to wear your hair natural, wear that, because you will attract a white guy who likes your natural hair. And if you like extensions and weaves, do that, because you will have a guy who likes that. I would say nice, just beautiful hair in general, good skin for femininity, nice, good fitting clothes, being in shape. I think that's across the board, but I do feel like when you see a white guy, black girl couple, they are usually a good looking couple. Like, you don't see white guys dating black girls usually who are like unattractive. If you see a black girl and a white guy, they're usually like an attractive looking couple together. So I do think that white guys do value when they do date black women, they value a black woman who is cognizant of working out and who values being in shape. That is one thing I have noticed. Being in shape is a big thing, and that I've seen that comes with dating out. What else do I want to talk about? Okay, so also one point that came up is finding the places to hang out in order to date out. So as I said before, if you want to go on the internet, there are plenty of websites for people who are interested in dating interracially to go. But if you want to just find a guy, or a guy wants to find a girl the good old-fashioned way, girl, you should not be finding a guy. And that's just my opinion. Look, I am not a feminist, or not a feminist. I support feminist values. I just don't put titles on myself, because I am here for women being whatever they want to be. I'm here for women who like traditional values. I'm here for women who don't like traditional values. I would say I'm not a traditionalist, or not a traditionalist, okay? So I personally don't like the idea of women seeking out men, but I also support women seeking out men. Like, if that is what you want to do and you want to grab the man you want by the reins, girl, I am here for it. But if you want a guy, I feel like guys are hunters, and guys can get bored easily. And I feel like the guys who have had to chase the girls, those relationships, to me, the girls have more luck in those, because when a guy has had to go after a girl, he feels like he had to win a prize, versus a girl going after a guy, he never had to chase anything, and he may not put as much value into that relationship, if that makes sense. So don't chase a guy. But if you want to put yourself in a surrounding to be chased, and you're interested in white guys, especially white guys who have substance, you want to go to an area where there are a good amount of white guys, okay? So you're going to go to maybe a social club, or a bar, or a festival where maybe there's a lot of single men. Well, there's not going to be a lot of white single men at a festival, but if you go to like a higher end bar, a nice little social place, going to play golf, boating, those type of things, outdoorsy activities, you're gonna find a lot of white guys around that may be of quality, and let them come after you, okay? Let them approach you, and that's how you're going to, I guess, attract them. So like I said, online, or being in an area where there are more of what you want, okay? Now, I also want to say, I've mentioned this before, but I think it is important to make sure you date a guy. It depends on what type of girl you are, again. So I am a girl, as I mentioned, who cares very, 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 very much about the Black community. So I will never date a white guy who is not aware of where I stand. So if I'm having like emotional issues, while I'm feeling emotional about something that's going on in the Black community, my white guy needs to be someone who can be there for me and support me, and try to understand my perspective. He's not Black, so he will never be able to understand my perspective, but he needs to be able to try and understand where I'm coming from and be a supportive mate. You don't want to date someone who doesn't want to hear your struggles as a Black person. You don't want to date someone who is not supportive of your fight, if you are someone who fights for black, issues. But if you are a Black girl and you are, what is the new term, resting in your femininity, and you're not here to be fighting, a fight all the time, then that is good. But you still want a white guy who can value or understand what comes with dating a Black woman who's going to face issues. You don't want to be in a relationship with someone who is going to be ignoring or blind to the realities of life, okay? So this won't be a long video. It's easier to do videos like this when you have a lot of questions. I just had a few questions, and I wanted to do kind of a baseline 101, which was my main thing was, don't date a dusty white guy. Be yourself 100%. Don't try and change yourself or mold yourself into anything and for anyone. And 3, go around what you want. So if you want to date white guys, you need to put yourself in areas or surroundings to allow white guys to approach you. If you're always hanging out at a more non-Black area, you're never going to get non-Black guys. And then number 4 is, make sure when you are dating, you date someone who is understanding and aware of what comes with dating Black people, because as a Black person, you're going to suffer in America. You need someone who can support you and be there for you in that, okay? If you all have any other direct questions for me and you would like more types of videos like this, I would love to do them for you. But I just go ahead and send me your questions. You can DM me on I was gonna say DM me on Instagram, but I don't really like to put my Instagram out on this channel. I will put an email, so you can email me, or if you're comfortable putting it down there in the comments below, go ahead and do that, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.